So today I wanted to come on and, just ramble like I normally do. The first thing I wanted to point out was I'm not real sure what's going on, but I was just riding past 7-Eleven and there's only a few of them in the area that I live in, and they happen to be in the more urban parts of the city. And right now they have these cups. They're for coffee, of course. And they have the blue ones for Obama, and they have the red ones for Romney. So let's just say I thought it was really cute, first of all. Secondly, I want to say there were like 4 of them left. The Obama cups, there were 4 of them. And the Romney cups, they were like all over the store. I got a nose itch. Anyway, they also sell, inside 7-Eleven, they also sell magnets and window clings and bumper stickers and pins. There were no Obama pins. There were no window clings. There were no bumper stickers. There were no magnets left for Obama. Okay. That is not what I came to talk about today. Give me a minute. Because all this coffee got my mouth so dry. Anyway, so I'm in Walmart today. And there were actually 2 ladies that, individually, that kind of came up and were just talking, because that's what we do. The first lady had the cutest TWA I've ever seen. And for those who don't know, a TWA is a teeny weeny afro. And she came up to me to tell me that she thought that my braids were really pretty. And I was like, yeah, thank you. I really like your TWA. And she was like, oh, it's only been 2 weeks and I'm, still growing on me. And she had it shaped up real cute. And, I don't know what she had. And I didn't ask what type of product she had in it, but it was really, really curly. And she was, just asking me about hair, like what was going on with mine and what kind of hair it was. And I was like, yeah, I'm natural under here too. And she said, really? And I said, yeah, I've been natural for 3 years. And, it seems like every time I see somebody and, either I'm wearing my fro or I'm wearing some braids or I'm wearing some twists or something, and they always ask me why I went natural. I mean, every time without a fail, they always ask me why I went natural. So I stopped talking to this other lady, we exchanged phone numbers and, we were probably going to, talk again. She probably picked my brain for some other things. But the second lady I was speaking to, was admiring my lipstick today, which is not MAC. I'm actually really fond of the Covergirl Queen collection. And this is one of the colors. I actually have a few of the Covergirl lipsticks that I like just as much as I like the MAC lipsticks. This one is called Romance. And it's kind of a pearl essence-y, pinky nude color. And I really like it. So she just asked me, was it MAC? And I was like, no, it's Covergirl. And she was like, really? Just girl talk. But the reason I came up here is because I wanted to talk about my natural journey and why I went natural and, how the whole evolution come about. Well, as you guys know, some of you that know me personally and, we're Facebook friends and stuff of that nature, I have been natural for 3 years, September. That just passed 3 years. And the biggest reason that I am natural is because I have a daughter. And she's 3. And really it was my husband, that really got me thinking about what I was doing to my hair and why. When we met, the whole thing was, I will not try to change you and you will not try to change me. But I think it has really kind of backfired on the both of us because we both are just completely different people. And the person that I was 4.5, 5 years ago is not the same person that I am now. Before, I was about as deep as the puddle at the end of a driveway. I could not hold a conversation about anything other than nothing. I didn't watch the news. I didn't read the paper. I didn't really have anything to offer to a conversation. Nothing. I was just nice to look at. And he really was the person that, like I said, really got me to thinking, why is it that I perm every 4 to 6 weeks? Why am I, not embracing what I was born with? And the real thing was really I was pregnant and still perming. And he was saying, that is not safe. It is not healthy. And I was like, whatever, I've got 2 other kids and I've done this the whole time. So why would I stop now? So after she was born, people always say that your life changes when you have a baby, and it does. You just view things differently. You see things differently. And when she was born, I just wanted to make sure that I was the best role model that I could possibly be for her. And so we talked about it again. He's like, that's really not good for your hair. You shouldn't do that. And I was like, whatever, women have been doing this forever. And he's like, that's not good for your scalp. It leaves residue on your skull. And I was like, he don't know what he's talking about. So we transferred to Japan, and my hair pretty much did not take that move well. And it started to fall out, and I had more hair on the floor and in the sink and in the baby's mouth and everywhere else than I had on my head. And I really started to, Google things. And that's really when I got into YouTube. And he had me watch this documentary. It's called 5,000 Years Without a Comb. I believe that's what the documentary's name is. But it's here on YT. And I watched it, and it was immediate that I needed to stop. So fast forwarding, 2 weeks later, I chopped. And I had about ½ an inch of hair on my head. And I felt so liberated. I have never felt like that really. Well, actually, every time I cut my hair, I feel very liberated. But this time it was just very different. And from then on, I said to myself, I have to be what I was born with. And this is me. And I knew it was me from the first second that I looked at my head. And the whole thing really is, I don't want to give my daughter a false sense of beauty. I don't want to have to alter what I'm born with to feel beautiful. And I want her to know that even if your hair is straight or curly or, kinky, that it's beautiful. And I love it when actually my fro is out and she comes up to it and goes, "Mommy, your hair is so beautiful." And honestly, I get more compliments on my fro than I ever did with my permed bob. So I say all of that just to say this. You have to have a reason. You have to have a mission statement onto what it is that you're going to do as far as your hair goes. You have to have a thing that you say in your head. For instance, mine is, I'm natural for my baby. I'm natural for my daughter. So that is really my journey in a nutshell in the little 10 minutes that YouTube gives me. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a series. So the next time I come back, I will talk about, the first 6 months and then things that I love and things that I don't love. Okay? Bye.